Hey guys, it's Lane with Tim's Nation. I'm here today to talk a little bit about my DeathWatch that I'm bringing up against DJ's Necrons. I've had the DeathWatch on previously, but I've mixed a few things up a little bit. I still have some Whirlwinds in here, but I've taken away the kill teams. I'm trying something with just DeathWatch Terminators. The neat thing about the DeathWatch Terminator squads is that for 5 Terminators, they can take 3 heavy weapons. So I'm able to load up a whole bunch of Cyclone missile launchers on my Terminator squads. That gives me both anti-tank and anti-infantry abilities. So it makes it a very flexible army. So I'm going to go through everything here. There are a few things, I apologize. There's a few things that are not done being painted, and there is one model that is just gray plastic. You'll have to forgive me. New edition, new models, still trying to get everything painted. So we're going to go through and talk through the list. I'll go in detail about everything, kind of what the battle plan is here. So let's take a look. All right, here we have the DeathWatch. The DeathWatch today, and just as a reminder, the special rules for DeathWatch are kill teams, which I do not have on the table today. No kill teams today, so I'm not taking any of the mixed units. Plus, we've got mission tactics instead of Space Marine doctrines. These function similarly, and then I have 3 different buffs, and I can use one each once per game. I choose it in my command phase, and for the entire battle round, I get the benefit. There's 3 different ones. There is, first off, I forgot what they're all called. For one turn, I can give the entire army lethal hits. For one turn, I can give the entire army sustained hits. And for one turn, I can make it so that all 6 to hit get the precision keyword or the precision ability. And that affects the entire army, and it affects both shooting and combat. So they are pretty powerful. And then for characters, sorry, guys. Here he is in gray plastic, the Space Marine Terminator Captain. Just got him put together. I'm going to try him out today, see how he works. I wanted to have a captain in here so I get the free strat usage. And also, he has an enhancement on him. It is the Tome of Ectoclades. So once per game, I can pop this in my command phase. And my entire, I get a second Oath of Moment target for the turn. So I will pick 2 Oath of Moments once per game. So we've got the gray plastic Terminator Captain. The only other character we have, I did have a Calidus Assassin. This is great for the utility. Being able to make one of my opponent's strats cost extra CP is huge. And also the fact that she is an old school Calidus Assassin model. She is metals. That means I do have a metal model on the table. It just makes my old man heart happy. Next, we've got the kind of the main force of the army here. I have 3 5-man Terminator squads. Again, DeathWatch Terminators, not regular Terminators, but DeathWatch Terminators have the ability to take 3 heavy weapons, even if they're just 5-man. They take 3 heavy weapons in the squad, no matter how big it is. If it's a 5-man, if it's a 10-man, they have 3 heavy weapons. So I can take a 5-man squad and have 3. I'm taking Cyclones in all of these. So all of these are going to be equipped exactly the same. You're going to have 3 Cyclone Terminators and then 2 with Thunderhammer and Storm Shields. This is going to hopefully put out a lot of damage, both into vehicles and infantry, because remember, each one of these Cyclones gets 2 missile shots, so either 2 crack missiles or 2 frag missiles, giving me the ability to really chew through either target and give me a lot of flexibility. DeathWatch Terminators, when they complete a charge, they force the unit that they made a charge against to take a battle shock test. So I will be kicking out some battle shock tests. So hopefully I don't forget about that benefit today. So next, in addition to the Terminators, we have 1 big old 10-man brick of Desolation Marines. These have the Super Cracks, nothing fancy here. Super Cracks, Vengor on the Sergeant, that's it. You know what these guys do. They shoot real good, both at tanks and infantry, and they have that indirect ability. Next, we've got 2 Inceptor squads. Now, what I like about the Inceptors is that they have the ability to deep strike, and they can deep strike just outside of 3 inches of any enemy models. Now, of course, they can't charge them, but this allows me to get on objectives that might have an opponent towing into them. I'm trying to look for ways to get on objectives in the game, and especially with all the tactical secondaries where I might need to jump in and do an action or get into my enemy's deployment zone, whatever it may be. These give me a lot of flexibility for that. I have 1 plasma squad and 1 assault bolter squad. I'm just trying to eat one of each out, see if I like them any different. I think the plasma is better. Obviously, if you The assault bolters do have sustain 2, so any 6s to hit with them generate 2 extra hits, which is kind of cool. We'll see if that comes into play here, but I'm just going to give them a try out. Really, they're here for the utility, and then their damage output's kind of second. Then next we've got 2 whirlwinds. The whirlwinds went up in points because of the overall nerf to indirect fire, but they are still really strong. They have a 72-inch range, so I can park them anywhere on the table, and they will be able to shoot at something at least. And their shots are, they get D6 plus 3, and they are blast. D6 plus 3 shots, strength 8, AP 2, 2 damage. Pretty solid damage output for an indirect, especially, not in this matchup, but if I'm going against Eldar and they've got some D-cannons on the table, I can outrange the D-cannons and kind of pick them off with some solid damage here. So 2 of the whirlwinds today. Then we also have the Thunderfire cannon. So we've got 1 Thunderfire cannon. I bought this one used off of eBay, guys, so it's kind of wonky looking. Somebody put it together kind of wrong. Everything looks a little misshapen. Maybe it got left out in the sun for too long. I don't know. But yeah, we've got 1 Thunderfire, another indirect, no AP on this. It's a strength 5, no AP, 1 damage. But, I forgot to mention on the whirlwinds, after they hit something, that a unit has to take battle shock. So both the whirlwinds and the Terminator squads cause battle shock tests. Then back to the Thunderfire. The Thunderfire, anytime it hits something, it causes that unit until the next shooting phase to reduce its movement, advance, and charge by 2. So it's a great way to slow down infantry units. It only affects infantry. And then last but not least, we've got the Speeder. We have a Thunderstrike Speeder. I don't quite have the right bits on it. I did magnetize this, but I haven't built the other options yet. I'm trying out the Thunderstrike today to see if I like it. I have been running the Hail Strike for the extra AP. I have a lot of crack missiles in this army that are only AP 2, and sometimes being able to make them bump up to AP 3 is useful with the Hail Strike Speeder. But today I'm trying the Thunderstrike. Now the Thunderstrike has anti-tank or anti-monster weapons. And if I shoot something, if I hit a vehicle or monster, the rest of the army will get +1 to wounding against it. So it's 30 more points than the Hail Strike, but I'm trying the Thunderstrike today. See if we can do some damage and see what happens with the rest of my army. It gets +1 to wound a tough target. That is the DeathWatch list. All right, guys, so I'm consciously trying to build in to the missions more, make sure I'm able to do a lot of the actions, the board control type things you need to be able to do in order to score tactical objectives. I also really like in tactical objectives that if I have something I'm not going to be able to score, I can get a command point back. Because my list is very command point hungry, and I don't have any way of generating extra CP other than getting that 1 back for discarding a tactical objective at the end of my turn. Some of the stratagems that the DeathWatch have are very spicy. For example, I can give a unit +6 inches to its range and an extra AP. That's going to be really useful against very tough targets. One of the ones I'm going to be experimenting with here a little bit is I have the ability to use a strat called Teleportarium, where I can pick a unit up and then at the end of my opponent's turn and bring it back down in my reinforcement step. I'm not really using this to get eyes on there or get close to things for charges, but it's to get eyes on things with those Terminators and the Cyclone missiles. I'll be able to bring them in and have eyes on good targets for them. That's kind of the plan I have for them. The Terminators can be hard to get good targets with them because they only move 5 inches, but being able to teleport 1 or 2 units around is going to be hugely helpful. All right, guys, so I'm going to be playing DJ's Necrons. Why don't you guys follow me over to the battle report, and we'll see how it goes.